Besides being a renowned filmmaker, Silvano Agosti is also a poet and a novelist. And today I have the honor of speaking with him today, and I want to speak to him about his latest novel, The Return of Pinocchio. As you know, Pinocchio was written in 1883 by a Florentine, and it's amazing how much life this little story has had. It has been recounted, and it is taught in schools all over the world. It is. Walt Disney made it's one of its best films ever, 1940, based on Pinocchio. Now, Silvano Agosti has his latest novel is called The Return of Pinocchio. Silvano, talk to me about this book of yours.
Actually, I prefer the title of my book to be Pinocchio Coming Back. Better than Return of Pinocchio, because Pinocchio is coming back with a serious intent of denying the fact that he is a hero, a great hero, as every child. He is coming to remember, let people remember that every child is a hero.
Well, you know, it's an interesting thing. This story about Pinocchio, which is a moral tale, which addresses a number of human issues like lying parenthood, the transformation of a human being. It's a powerful tale. Silvano, how did this? Why did this inspire?
First of all, it's a very particular aspect of Pinocchio because he, in a way, he comes back and he meets a little girl of his age, 7.5, and he convinces her to run away from her home.
Here, we're speaking about the novel, and he has used the original Pinocchio story to write his story.
In fact, he convinces the little girl to take off from her house at midnight and go together with Pinocchio to visit a huge metropolis, a big town. And these two children, they meet all the creations of the adults, of the grown-up people. They meet prostitutes, they meet thieves, they meet jobless workers, they sense that in a way the world has been created as a kind of legitimate disaster. And they are in a perfect agreement with each other to say, but adult people could only this kind of world create.
Yes, it is a marvelous and a beautiful story. I know it quite well because I translated it from the Italian to the English, and it is it's a beautiful story, as he said, about these two children who end up in a relationship, travel around. And Silvano, what's the moral of your story? What's the point of this?
He could say the same thing of Richard II by Shakespeare. Mark, silent king, the moral of this sport, how soon my sorrow hath destroyed my face. In the sense that adults create situations that destroy childhood, that don't respect childhood. Children should be sitting in the parliament.
Yes.
They should be at the top of every situation. They should be the origin of any kind of organization because they are mentally organized. The other people are mentally lost.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's a beautiful summary of this marvelous story by Silvano Agosti. It is a powerful tale. His story is a powerful tale, laden with all kinds of messages, as he's now described it to you. Well, I want to continue this story with him at a later time, talking about Pinocchio, because it is so full of so much significance. Silvano, for the time being, let's thank you, and what's your parting message on Pinocchio, humanity?
But first of all, I need to underline a new fact. There was a very, very intelligent woman writer from Iran that wanted to translate, and she translated my book, a book of mine, and she wanted to be printed in Iran. And when she decided to print it in Iran, she found out that my book, with a different title, had been already published in Iran 2 years before. And when I asked the embassy why these people didn't ask me at least the permission to print the book, they very innocently said, no, but Iran doesn't admit authors' rights. You know? This is the adult world.
Yeah.
They don't admit rights.
Yeah. Well, and I think the message is that perhaps the message is that our world could be so much better, that it's much easier to make our world better if we just opened our eyes and were inspired by children. Don't you think, Silvano?
I think so. If the world should be a garden where people play, the work is to be given to the machines, and the human being, they have to play, and all the governments, and this will happen very soon, will give food and house free charge to everybody. In this sense, the people, they will frequent this planet only to be happy, only to play, only to walk, only to meet people, only to make love, only to write books, only to paint paintings, only to do what human beings should discover. They were born to create it. Yeah?
Well, on that note, Silvano Agosti truly does have the spirit of Pinocchio. This is Oscar Wright in Rome, and I'll talk to you later.